What's going on, guys? I thought I'd give you an update on the 280Z. Sold the turbo setup and the L28 and all the other goodies I had with it to a guy in Alabama. He bought almost everything. A couple other parts just kind of went here and there all over the place, all over the US. So what did we decide to do now? Decided to go 302. I had one laying around, so it was kind of an easy setup, pretty cheap since I already had one. They make great power. Some of you guys may know, some of you may not know. I'm a big Ford guy, so I've got parts to spare. I know how to build them. I've built them before. So I had a 302 laying around, so we decided to go that route. So we're going 302 T5. The 302 is a 91 F-150, just a EFI, just standard truck engine, nothing fancy. They're real low, I think like 220 horsepower or something like that, but like 300 torque, which is really good. This car's real light, only adds, not including the big brake upgrade, only adds I think like 60-65 pounds, but it scoots the engine back, so we don't mind gaining a little weight if it puts it more to the rear and more to the center line. Okay, so update time. Got all my parts in finally, I think. I know there's still going to be a couple little things that I have to order. For you guys that don't know, it's been make progress and then try to keep going, then realize there's a part I still have to order, then wait a week to get the part in and get time to work on it. It's been like that back and forth. This is taking way too long. Then Ford sent me to training, kind of local, but we had to stay at a hotel, so I was gone like a whole week. So that was a whole week of progress lost. Now Thanksgiving's coming up, so I won't be here that day. The guy who usually helps me has gone back home because he's at college in the town I live in. He's gone back home, but I think he's coming back Friday, so we're going to try to really get some things done, maybe get the engine in and mounted for the last time, start working on whatever we're going to do for transmission mount, and start hooking everything up. That'd be great. So anyway, I guess we will go ahead and kind of go through the build, what I got, what I'm doing, things like that. I got a new plasma cutter in today, finally got it in. I got a really good deal on Amazon on it, so I may do a couple, I don't want to call them review videos because it's not really going to be review videos. I guess we'll just call it cut crap. You can just watch me cut some stuff up with it as I learn how to use it. One of the guys at work bought a Matco one, so I'm kind of judging to see how it compares. This one was like $300. I think he paid, I want to say like $1,300-$1,400. According to the specs, mine cuts more, or cuts thicker, but I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see. His we cut about I think 4 items with. One of the electrode tips came apart on the inside, burned up the tip and the torch and everything else, and I really wasn't impressed for what he paid for it. Either way, just me rambling. So let's go through the build. Like I said, standard just truck 302, nothing fancy. This is just getting it in, getting it going. Switch over to the F100 after this is running and drivable, and then we'll go from there, and I'll get started on an F100 build. I'm excited about that. So without further ado, let's go over our build here. Let me swap this around. Alright, so this is the 302. I was afraid of this. It's fluorescent lighting in here makes this look gold. I promise you it's not gold. This is, for you Z heads, it's almost like the 05, 06, that burnt orange color they had. It's just the fluorescent lighting with the metallic flake that's in it makes this thing look gold. And I hate that because everyone who's looked at pictures and stuff and watch build threads are like, God, that engine is awful, or, you know, call me 2 Chainz with all this gold. But I promise you it's not gold. It's actually like a burnt metallic color. Just to prove it, it is the same color as this panel setting here. That's not in the horrible lighting. You can see it still just doesn't do the color justice. That is the 350Z color right there. Either way, so we got the engine here, backed by a T5 transmission. It's a world-class, just standard V8 Mustang T5 transmission, nothing fancy. Stock clutch, stock flywheel, stock engine for that matter. It's got an old school like 64 Mustang, or what would be 65 Mustang, 66, 289 4-barrel intake. It's cast iron, good thick stuff. I had it laying around, so we threw it on. The swap kit, if I can find it. I ordered it from Lane Family. Conversion, I think their motor match is their thing online. It fits decent. I had to do some modifying, which, I mean, any of you guys who've done V8 swaps before know that these are not 100% just bolt in and go. You always have to do some modifications. Let me get this off the tripod here, and I will get a little bit better close up. So just pardon this real quick while I try to get this loose. I got a full battery this time, so hopefully the battery won't die on us. Okay, so tripod's loose. So the only issue I really had with it, you can see these are bent out right now quite a bit. There's a little bit of a gap here. I had an issue, they were bent just a little too in, and they weren't allowing this to set flush against the frame here. So it was setting up really high, and I just didn't like how it looked. So all I had to do was just hit that with the hammer a couple of times to bend it out. So what I'm going to do is get it in and get it mounted, get everything kind of straightened up, make sure everything's where it needs to be. And then I'm just going to beat it back in and then put the bolt in, or drill the hole and put the bolt in. Not that big of a deal, just one of the little quirks I ran into with the kit. Now the transmission, sorry, I'm having to move the camera again. The transmission mount, which I have no idea where it is in the shop. I think it's actually under, yeah, it's underneath there. You can kind of see it there. Let me see if my camera will let me zoom in. Yeah, all right. That's actually for a 240Z or 260Z that doesn't fit the 280Z. Something about a pressed-in floor pan instead of a stamped or something like that. I don't remember. There's a couple guys online that show modifying those. So that's what I'm going to do, is just modify that one, make it work. As far as goodies go, we're still going to be running the Innovate LC2 wideband, just, I mean, because it's good for carb tuning, it doesn't change. I still have the Mega Squirt in this box right here. Being a Ford guy, like I said, I've got 2 or 3 fuel injection intakes for this thing. I just got to find a good fuel rail somehow. I've got like 24 injectors and a bunch of intakes and upper plenums and everything else and throttle bodies, but I don't have one good fuel rail for it, so I gotta find one. Those are Patriot block tuck headers. They fit good. They fit really close to the block. I mean, like the name says. The only issue I ran in with them, let's see, this one wasn't bad. You can see right here, I had to notch this a little bit. Not too terribly bad. Now the driver's side is probably the worst, and I'm afraid I'm still gonna have to notch a little more. We're just gonna have to see. You can see right here on this one's got a big chunk. Let's see if I can find, yeah, here we go. These are just a factory 302 mount, nothing fancy. You can see I had to take quite a bit chunk out there to get it to clear. Am I worried about it? Honestly, no. I don't think it'll affect the rigidity or the strength or anything like that. I honestly just don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. So we'll see though. I mean, if it ends up being a big deal, then we'll figure something else out, and I might just have to go with some kind of custom mount. We'll just have to see. So I think that's pretty much it for right now, guys. I did hydro dip valve covers just because I don't plan on running these, and I wanted to try my hand at hydro dipping. It turned out okay. It's not bad. There's a couple of things I would have done differently. The biggest issue I ran into was, one, my bucket wasn't deep enough, so it's got like half dipped one spot, which this one actually you really can't tell that bad. But some of the other ones you can tell where I started it and then ended it. This one you actually can't, huh? Anyway, the other one you can. Biggest thing was either doing it too soon and it not really wanting to stick, which was the case of this down here, or doing it too late, I guess you would say, and it got kind of like little water bubbles in it. I'm guessing that's from doing it too late, and then it already kind of started to dry and came with the layer in between the two. So either way. And then the mini torque starter, this is actually just a 80s model Bronco starter, or I think certain Mustangs use that too, nothing fancy. And the Earl pan all cleaned up. I wish I could stay this pretty when you go to put them in. They always get beat up and scratched up and look awful, so hopefully maybe it'll stay like that. I don't know, we'll see. 351 on the engine stand, I don't know what we're going to do with. I picked up a 4.6 this weekend, really cheap for the F100 since I'll have the Crown Vic suspension in it. So I don't know. I can't get rid of it. I don't want to sell it. I got nothing to put it in. I don't know. I'm sure some project will drift my way eventually. And then the new plasma cutter. I can't wait to get that out and see how it does. But for now, I think that's pretty much it, guys. You saw the suspension update. As far as the bushings, that's as far as I've got. I like to go coilovers and all that, but that'll come later. I did get the big brake kit for the front, where you use the 300ZX turbo brake calipers and rotors, and you have to get the spacer and all that other stuff. I got that. Then I got the 240SX rear calipers, so I can convert this thing to disc in the rear. So next, I guess, is going to be brake booster and master cylinder, which kind of sucks because both of those are brand new, but that's part of the game. I'm sure I can put them on the internet and sell them again. I got this somewhat cleaned up. I really wasn't worried about show quality. After all, this is just a fun car. It's not a show car. Just pressure washed it all, made sure it was clean, and just Rust-Oleumed. Use the Rust-Oleum black on it. It's durable. It holds up to brake fluid and oil and grease and radiator fluid and everything else. So it'll work for now. I'm sure when we tear this all apart to actually paint it and whatnot, then we'll go back and do everything right. But for now, that's it, guys. Sorry it's been so long. Things have been kind of hectic. We did just have a little girl. She's like right at 2 months old. So I haven't been able to come out here, and all my free time I've been using actually working on the car. I haven't had a chance to make a video. I promise I'll try to keep you guys updated more, especially with this build. I know there'll probably be a lot of questions with the V8 swap. So I guess that's it. Till later, guys. Peace.